This is VOA News. I'm Joe Ramsey. Russia's Civil Aviation Agency says mercenary leader Yevgeny Prigozhin was aboard a plane that crashed north of Moscow on Wednesday. All 10 people aboard were killed. Prigozhin led a brief armed rebellion against the Russian military earlier this year. The crash immediately raised suspicion since the fate of the founder of the Wagner private military company has been the subject of intense speculation ever since he mounted the mutiny. U.S. President Joe Biden reacted to the news Wednesday.
There's not much that happens when Russia is Putin not behind, but I don't know enough to know the answer.
He added,
I don't know for a fact what happened, but I'm not surprised.
China and Russia used the second day of the BRICS summit of emerging economies to criticize the West, while also throwing their support behind the proposed expansion of what's seen by some as an alternative power bloc. Kate Bartlett has more from Johannesburg.
The leaders of Brazil, India, and China are all in South Africa, which is hosting the event, while Russian President Vladimir Putin is participating virtually to avoid arrest under an International Criminal Court warrant over war crimes in Ukraine. Via video link, Putin, who ordered Russia's invasion of Ukraine last year, said the West's actions had led to that conflict by trying to promote their hegemony, exceptionalism, and policies of neocolonialism. Kate Bartlett for VOA News, Johannesburg.
Find more on our website, including the podcast Flashpoint Ukraine and Flashpoint Iran at voanews.com. This is VOA News. North Korea says its second recent attempt to launch a spy satellite has failed. The announcement follows a statement by South Korea's military that North Korea launched a long-range rocket. The North State News Agency said Thursday's launch ended in failure because of an error that happened during a 3-stage flight of the rocket. It cited the country's aerospace agency as saying that North Korea will conduct a third attempt in October after finding what caused a failure. In late May, a North Korean rocket carrying a spy satellite plunged into the sea soon after liftoff. An Indian spacecraft landed on the rugged, unexplored south pole of the moon on Wednesday in a mission seen as crucial to lunar exploration and India's standing as a space power. Just days after a similar Russian lander crashed, scientists and officials clapped, cheered, and hugged each other as the spacecraft landed, and people across India broke out in celebration, setting off firecrackers and dancing in the streets. India is the fourth nation to successfully land a spacecraft on the moon after the United States, China, and Russia. At the March on Washington's 60th anniversary on Saturday, leaders are seeking the energy of the original movement from the American Civil Rights Movement. AP correspondent Julie Walker reports.
I have a dream.
Martin Luther King Jr. telling the 250,000 there about his dream of equality. Also on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, a young Eleanor Holmes Norton who helped organize the march.
The notion that I could look from those steps and not see the end of the crowd was the most extraordinary experience of my lifetime.
She was a 26-year-old student nonviolent coordinating committee worker in Mississippi. Now she's a member of Congress from D.C. She says she'd like to see a break in the polarization in Congress itself. I'm Julie Walker.
The U.S. presidential Republican debate field may be down a man tonight. AP Washington correspondent Sagar Meghani reports.
It's not Donald Trump. He'd already said he won't be there. Instead, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum may have to sit out the debate after hurting himself playing basketball yesterday. A spokesman says it's unclear if the 67-year-old Burgum would be able to stand at the 2-hour debate. Missing it would be a major blow. Burgum's the least known of the 8 candidates expected at the debate, which would be the best chance for him to introduce himself to voters. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
And I'm Joe Ramsey.
Thank you for watching. Can you do me a favor? Please leave a comment in the comment section below. That would really help. Thank you, and see you again soon.